Hey guys, welcome to another video on Explainer Zone. So last week, Nano Dimension released its third quarter results for 2020. Some of you may have already listened to the conference call, but in this video, I'll be mostly talking about my thoughts about the third quarter results, while also talking about what happened during the conference call. I know it has been a week since the conference call, but I couldn't find the time to post this video in the past week. I thought I should still post this video because I had been looking into Nano Dimension for over a month and a half now, and I have some interesting observations which I wanted to share. The conference call was a short one. I think it lasted about 14 minutes, and there was only one investor who asked a few questions during the call. But I thought that the questions asked were very good and helped me understand a few things which I did not pay attention to previously. Some of the details spoken about in the conference call include information about mergers and acquisition for Nano Dimension, competition from other companies, which I think will play a key role in determining Nano Dimension's success over the long term, the ongoing impacts of COVID-19 on Nano Dimension's business, some comments surrounding Nano Dimension's products and their capabilities, regarding which there was a question during the conference call, and Nano Dimension's services business, Nano Services or NaNos. It's a lot of details, but let's talk about all of those details. I'll try to keep it to the point and as short as possible, and of course we'll also quickly look at the numbers regarding revenues and other things in the financial results. With regard to the conference call, most of the details that were mentioned during the call were also mentioned in the recent investor presentation and also the recent press release when they announced the sale of 2 Dragonfly LDM systems to customers in the Asia Pacific region. There was a mention about competition during the conference call. Yoav Stern said that they are starting to see signs of competition, but that the competition was far behind. Now I think competition is good for the technology. It will encourage companies to innovate and be better, and that will result in progress at a faster pace than if there were no competition at all. But if the competition picks up at a good pace, it can also potentially result in loss of some market share in the long run for Nano Dimension. So it'll be interesting to see how this takes shape over the next few years. A few advantages for Nano Dimension which I think can help them face the competition better is that they are patent protected. They have over 30 patent applications according to their recent investor presentation, and they also have the first to market advantage according to their presentation. Nano Dimension has also raised money in the past few months and looks like their plan is to spend a good amount of that money on product development. I think this can potentially help them take an even bigger lead from the competition. But whoever the competitors are, if they end up coming up with a better technology than that of Nano Dimensions, then that could possibly cause some trouble to Nano Dimension. In certain emerging businesses, what happens is that winner takes all or majority of the market share eventually, kind of similar to the search engines where Google just dominated the competition over time and captured a majority of the market. Something similar can be said about the smartphone operating system business as well, with Android and iOS dominating the market. So I think it will be interesting to watch how this competition for Nano Dimension takes shape over time. I'm personally not aware of any other company which is working on products similar to that of Nano Dimension at the moment, but if any of the viewers is aware of that, I'll really appreciate if you can leave a comment below saying what you know about that aspect. One of the questions asked during the conference call was regarding Nano Dimension's machines being able to use mil-spec materials. From the conversation during the conference call, what it sounds like is that not being able to use mil-spec materials can restrict the use of Nano Dimension's machines mostly for prototyping and proof of concept, and not for small batch production. Yoav says in the conference call that there could be some exceptions to this, but sounds like once they are able to use mil-spec materials in the future, that can potentially be a big advantage their products can offer, as it will probably allow for small batch production along with prototyping. Now looking at Nano Dimension's recent investor presentation, it looks like they are expecting that to potentially happen sometime in 2022. Yoav Stern also spoke about the work they are doing surrounding mergers and acquisitions. Nano Dimension had actually mentioned about M&A work in their recent press release regarding the sale of 2 Dragonfly systems, where they said, quote, "Our foray into an M&A search with the help of Needham & Co. is continuing actively." End quote. It was not very clear in this press release if they were looking to get acquired or were looking to acquire companies. But since the statement about M&A was mentioned alongside the statement regarding Nano Dimension having $100 million in cash, I thought it probably has to do with them looking to buy companies that add value to their business. Talking about this during the conference call, this is what Yoav Stern has said.
Looking around for the M&A, as you know, and things are slowly developing there, but more importantly, they're just closing the transaction, which we'll eventually do.
So it looks like they're planning to acquire companies rather than being acquired by other companies. That's what I'm personally understanding from these comments, but this will probably be more clear in the coming months. There were some comments regarding Nano Services or NaNos, which is Nano Dimension's fabrication services business. If you're not familiar with NaNos, according to their recent investor presentation, this is how it works. Chat with an expert regarding the most efficient way of printing your model. send your CAD or SolidWorks files to optimize the printing. Your parts are printed cost effectively and shipped to you in the shortest competitive time. So talking about this was what Yoav Stern said.
Yes, from the other side we started Nano Services, NaNos, and our services are slowly growing because people are using our services, but the numbers are still small.
And this was the conversation regarding NaNos during the Q&A session.
If you can help me, if you can highlight the number of Nano Services, NaNos.
We don't publish the Nano Services separately, but it's as I told you, it's non-material. Actually, it is material when the revenue is low, because it's in the range of hundreds of thousands, not in the range of millions. We started it about 3 months ago. So it depends what you call material, but it's definitely hundreds of thousands, not millions.
Okay, that's encouraging, because last time it was 52,000, so I'm looking for just a growth there, and I'm happy to see increment there. So thank you.
So looks like NaNos is growing, which is another revenue generator for Nano Dimension. So that's a positive sign in my opinion. Now finally, with regard to revenues in this quarterly result, total revenues for the third quarter of 2020 were $438,000 compared to $288,000 in the second quarter of 2020 and $2,243,000 in the third quarter of 2019. So the revenues when compared to 2019 third quarter revenues are down significantly, but are up compared to the revenues in the second quarter of 2020. So not very exciting revenue numbers here, but I'm not surprised or anything because of how the pandemic has been impacting the capex of several companies out there. And given that Nano Dimension has mentioned previously that the pandemic has been affecting their business and the spending of their customers, this is one thing which I would be looking at carefully in the coming months, because I think where the pandemic goes in the next few quarters, how long it will last, and how long it will keep affecting the capex of companies can potentially eventually impact the growth of Nano Dimension. The recent news about the vaccine is probably a positive sign in the short term. I've spoken in some of my previous videos about how 3D printing can help some of the industries affected by the pandemic, like the aerospace industry, to cut costs. But I haven't personally come across anything so far indicating that it is becoming a reality. If any of the viewers know anything about companies trying to seek 3D printing to help their business during the pandemic, it'll be great if you can share that information in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. I make videos like this regularly, so stay tuned. That's it for this video, guys. Hope you liked the video and found value in it. As a disclaimer, I would like to tell you that I'm not a financial advisor, and this video or any of the videos on Explainer Zone are not meant to be investment advice. All the videos in Explainer Zone are only for entertainment and educational purposes, and please do your own research and due diligence before investing in stocks or anything else, as there is a risk associated with them.